Welcome back for another installment of I Ain't Trying to Be Funny, but with Keita and Kim. We have a special edition this week. We have a special guest. We have Dr. Stacii Jae Johnson, host.
Welcome.
Owns Put a Ring on It. Hi, Stacii.
Hey, sis.
Hey, so
well, sis, I gotta make you my sis too, Kim. It's only right?
Yeah,
it's only right.
Yeah.
AUC love. Welcome.
Okay, so Dr. Stacii Jae, a little bit about Stacii. For more than 10 years, she's been a sought after relationship counselor who, through her talks, her books, and her private coaching, has shared her own 20-year-long journey to rewrite her own love story with singles and couples looking to do the same. She is adamant that the happily ever after relationship is still possible today for those who are willing to do the self-work. Now, a little bit about Stacii. She's like I said, the host of OWN's Put a Ring on It, season 4, where she guides 3 couples whose relationships are at a crossroads on their separate journeys to determine whether they should call it quits and move on or advance to the next level. She's also the best-selling author of a book called Date Girl, 143 Reasons Why I Believe Women Should Date Multiple Men with No Intimacy. That's key. All right. Don't have to smash everybody. She's an actress. You have probably seen her in many things, such as a thin line between love and hate, with Martin Lawrence as Peaches. She was in How to Be a Player as Sherry, and as well as television roles on hit series including ER, Martin, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And she was also an on-air personality at Intercom Radio V103 in Atlanta. Dr. Stacii is in the final stages of earning her master's degree in marriage and family therapy this year. Yes, on August, right? And most of all, she's my Spelman College classmate. Class of, you want to say? Just something.
93.
Class of 93, baby. Yes. From 93 till infinity.
That's right.
And this is my girl. So we are so excited to have you with us.
Thank you so much. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Let me tell y'all something. Family is family. So Nikita called, right? Will you do my? I was like, girl, yes. What in the world? We just got to figure this thing out as far as scheduling. But there is no way. Like I'm always. Nikita knows I'm the same back from '89 to 2023. Like I don't change. I believe in family. I believe in supporting my family, and I actively do that because I know that's active. That's not. Well, let me think about it. And no, I immediately didn't I say, Nikita, let's just figure it out.
Yeah, she's like, of course. Yeah.
So
awesome. Well, we really do appreciate you coming on our show today. We have been watching Put a Ring on It since the beginning, and we're just so excited to have you on our show, which leads us to our first question. How did you get that gig?
Wow. Okay, so the real story is 4 seasons ago now, I was up for the original Put a Ring on It, like when it first started. And I didn't get it. It came down between me and 2 other young ladies. They chose another young lady, which was fine. I was like, I was a little disappointed. I can't tell a lie. Because like, man, this is a perfect show. But what I do know is I'm one of those people, Nikita will tell you, I keep going. I am the bunny that like the Energizer bunny. And I continue to just build my career and really live in what I know is my passion. I said, you know what? I'll keep going. And now 4 seasons later, it comes back around through me auditioning for a whole nother show. I didn't even know I was auditioning for Put a Ring on It. I was auditioning for a show called I Want You Back, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I was auditioning for a show called I Want You Back. That's why I said I'm going to give you the full.
Okay. Tea. All right. Let's
I know. I got my tea.
It's tea. I was auditioning for a show called I Want You Back. Lighthearted Media, who's the producer of Put a Ring on It, called me and said, hey, Stacii, we got the show, whatever. Need to put you on camera. Okay. I went through probably, to do these things, you all, it's very intense. Like it's not just one. I went through probably 5 situations with them calling me back. 4, remember, I Want You Back. The last one, the owner of Lighthearted said, all right, Stace, just let's play around. Listen, play around. I'm like, okay, what if, did you ever watch Put a Ring on It? I said, honestly, the last season, right? Had never really watched the show, y'all. Last season. He was like, okay. So say, for instance, you were the coach and what would you have done differently? And because literally, again, y'all, I had never watched it. If he would have asked me that the season before, I would have been like, I don't watch that show. But for some reason last year, the third season, I did watch. Shows you God really, and I didn't even think, I just started watching it, how God positions you and you don't even know it. So I would do this and ain't no way. Shorty, the way she talks to people, oh, heck to the no. There is no way, because I would have really gotten into her, because you don't talk to a human being, let alone the man that you sleep next to, in such a degrading way. I said, oh, I would have checked that. I said, Rob, I always tell people, don't let the spellman fool you, honey. All right. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee.
That Memphis will come out, right?
Period. And I would have gotten all up in Shorty, like, girl, what you doing? Right. And he continued to listen, and they put me on video, and he said, so what about some more couples? And I did my thing. A week passed. He said, I got a call from my agent. Hey, Stace, they want you for the show. And I'm like, oh my God, I finally got it, y'all. I'm like, I want you back. I said, oh my God, it even is deal. Because I love working with single women or couples, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm working with couples and da-da-da-da. She was like, I don't know if you know, but it's not, she was like, it's not, I want you back. It's their show, Put a Ring on It.
So where did that come from?
Where did that come from? He was like, yeah, I was like, for real? And she was like, yeah.
Wow.
Like, wow. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, I want you back. So then I said, okay. She said, so there's a kicker. And I said,
okay. Here we go.
She said, your Bali trip, they actually start shooting while you're in Bali. So they need you to come back earlier.
Hey, wait though. I'm in Bali. No.
I looked up to the heavens. I said, wow, God, really?
Yeah.
And I'm big on energy. I'm big on being to people. And I said, I bet I can't do it. I have 18 women who have been paying, literally, these are not wealthy women, but the way I do my trips is they're expensive, absolutely. But I give them 9 to 10 months to pay it off, right?
Pay it off.
So that then the next 2 months, they're worried about flights and things like that. And I said, I can't do it. And my heart was just, but I got to do the right thing. I said, I can't do it. I can't. She said, are you sure? I said, I can't let these women down. These women have been paying. So she says, all right. A week passed, and she called me back. No, I got a text from the owner of Lighthearted Media, and he said, it ain't over till it's over.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I sent a screenshot to my agent at Innovative. I said, Bobette, they said it's not over till it's over. She was like, okay. And literally, here I am today.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Wow. It was meant to be.
For me to, and they even got me back. They said, can she come back one day early? I said, okay, because the one day early, Sunday is usually the day that people leave anyway. So we didn't have anything planned. So I finished everything I was supposed to do on Saturday. And then I flew out of Bali on a red eye at 2 a.m. after working all day, delivering everything to the girls, so that then I could get back literally only, because Bali is a full day of travel, one day early. And then they started shooting 3 days after I got back.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
so
Wow.
Yeah. So,
but you looked great. You didn't look like you had just touched down or
literally 48 hours earlier. No, 72. I just literally gotten back to the States.
Touched down. And your life, your apartment or house or whatever is in disarray. You're trying to get everything together, and now you got to go and be on camera and be on.
That means these wigs got to be tight. That clothes got to be popping. Y'all know me. I'm Nikita. No, she gonna be a fashionista. She gonna deliver great advice, but she gonna be sharp doing it too.
Yeah, she gonna look good doing it, right?
Look good. Right. So that is the.
I don't know that wig life.
Yeah. That is the full story, y'all. Like literally.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
great.
wonderful. That was divine. That was, yeah. Congratulations.
So
Thank
now
you.
what's the filming schedule? How often do you record the show during a season? So I know we get it weekly, but it's not filmed weekly, is it?
No. So we do a batch of like all the episodes back to back. So it's intense. So when you all see the couples,
wow.
they are in an intense, like, no, like back to back to back to back, date, coaching me, like it is very intense because it's those 12 episodes in a very little condensed amount of time. And they're shooting every day, almost every day.
Wow.
So just imagine.
So they don't go to work.
They don't just, well, no, they will scatter it, but these, most of the times, like even with Joya and Jasha, they were realtors, so they make their own schedule.
Oh,
Catherine, you know what I'm
gotcha.
saying? And then I think at that time, Ricky was driving a truck, so it's still very, what was that? I don't know.
we kept speculating Catherine didn't have a job. She was his broke best friend.
Oh, no, Catherine's a hairstylist. No. So no.
No, she's not.
Go ahead.
Okay. And then
Did you see that?
Jasmine and Zay owns his own club, and
Right.
Jasmine owns a very thriving a cosmetology school that is literally approved by government and all that. Like she has students. Oh no, she has a huge cosmetology school. So
They were flexible.
Okay.
yeah, they were very flexible with shooting. So they weren't all shooting at the same time always, but it worked. But it's very intense, y'all. When I tell y'all, it's very, because then you got to go to bed next to this man, but then you just went on a date, and then he just went on a date, and then y'all still got to sleep because we're not there at sleep time. So we don't really know the conversation and, oh, wow, really? That's what you said when he picked you up? Wow. I mean, we don't know. Just imagine. And then every day, dates,
Oh, that's intense.
house. No, it's very intense, for real.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know. I mean, we had no idea. We thought it was
I was
spread
wondering,
out
yeah.
over.
Mm-mm.
Ooh,
Yeah.
wow. And it's crazy because we really wish we could watch the shows with them, especially from the season before with the speculation of that couple, the guy that was the rapper, and the
That
girl
slept with the girl he went on the date with. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know it that. Yeah.
That was a whole mess.
So if you're saying they're going out on a date and then coming back home to be with their significant other, that means never mind. Let's not even think about what he was really doing.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like it's intent, right?
Wow.
So that does mean that because we're not there, the cameras aren't there, so we don't know what the conversations are. We don't know anything. But imagine,
I would feel some kind of way knowing that my man just came home from being on a date with someone else. Like it's one thing to know that you're dating someone who's also dating, like your book, date multiple people. That's fine. I know you're dating, but it's different. You just coming back from a date and getting into bed with, I don't know. That's icky for me. That's
kind of strange.
Yeah, but where I think the show really works is with a coach in the middle, guiding you so that if the day after you're going in to meet me at the group session, that energy can then come out at the group session, and then I can help you all hopefully either see how you can work together to continue to move through the process in a more peaceful way, or give you some things to think about. So when you do go back home, you can have an elevated conversation that can take you somewhere. That's the really good part about having someone in the middle of that. Because if not, I mean, you would go, it could be a very volatile situation.
Yeah.
Help them process it.
Yeah.
So who chooses the couples? Like, I mean, not the couples, but the dates, the people they go out with. Like,
they have a whole, I mean, y'all, it's not Buquita in them. You know what I'm saying? With a show, its own. I mean, they got a process. So they have development staff, they have casting, even for the couples and the daters. Now I can say this, everyone does go through an extensive head check.
I would think so.
Oh no.
Questioning. Oh no. They do go. You know what, Kim, your facial expressions are just.
Well, I mean, just think about it, Stacey, the arrogant guy that was on this last show, the tall guy. Why can't I remember anybody's name right now?
You talking about one of the daters?
One of the
that
daters
talked about single mothers?
Yeah.
Jacoby.
Yes. He needs some outside counseling.
Well, this is the thing, as he says about, she is funny, girl. Thing.
That's why I ain't trying to be funny, but
I know, right?
Right.
Exactly. Great title, actually, for real. Now that I'm seeing, yes. So this is the thing with that. With Jacoby, what I believe the questionnaire is looking for is people who are firm in their personalities, right? Jacoby, you're not going to say Jacoby just because I don't care what Twitter is saying. Jacoby stands firm on his personality, his thoughts, his feelings, what drives him, what moves him. So that's what I think. I don't know for a fact, you guys, because I'm not even in that process, but I know TV. And I know they want people who don't waver, because then that means that we're going to have a good conversation if you put them with someone who has another point of view. That creates great interaction, great conversation. That Jacoby conversation is still continuing on Twitter as we speak, right? Yeah. Among single moms, then men saying, well, what's wrong with a man saying this is what he wants? Because you can say if you want a guy who is 6'2" and whatever, but then 4'11" guy come up, or even hell, if you 5'3" and he 5'7", you still like, oh no, he needs to be 6 feet or something. Right. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't but 5'3", girl, so why he got to be 6 feet again?
Right.
You know? So then, but then Jacoby stands on what he wants. He doesn't want a single mother. He came from a single, and I don't want it. That's what he said.
But that's what I'm saying. How did he get to date somebody who had a kid? If that's
again, you gotta remember, he stands firm on his position. That's what TV wants. TV wants someone who stands firm on their position. They knew he was going to stand firm, especially with a reality show. You didn't never know what could happen. With the scripted, you kind of know because you can build in the drama. But with this, there has to be different personalities, right? Different opinions. So then how do you still build within a model that you can't really dictate, but put firm people in there who have their position, right? Yeah. So, and then this is the key though. You never can tell with a person like a Jacoby, if he would have sat across from a Joya and said, you know what, wow, for the first time, I don't know. I was the type of dude that X, Y, and Z, but I feel differently, Joya. You gave me another point of view. So then that's still great television, right?
True.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. You got to take that chance.
Who has a firm position. Yeah. Because that single mother conversation, y'all, it's amazing. It's like
it is
going to places I don't think we ever thought it would. Yeah.
It just seemed probably like it came out of nowhere. And I was like, wow. And he was not budging. It was interesting. I mean, I kind of felt him like, hey, if that's what you want, bro, do it. She's out there, whoever, the woman is who wants that or agrees with him. So,
yeah.
Did you have sessions with any of the couples off camera, or have you extended an invitation to any of them since the show?
I can say that we have a group text, myself and the other 3 couples, minus Chance and Dunbar, but the last ones or whatever. And so we have really absolutely, like between Joya, all of them actually, we absolutely not. Am I giving away any free coaching? I don't do free, y'all. Okay.
I don't blame you.
Okay, baby. I don't do free.
Somebody got to pay for that master's.
We got a whole nother. It's me and you, right?
Right.
For real. Because that's a whole nother deal. Okay.
Right.
So I don't do free nothing. I've worked my butt off to get where I am.
Amen.
So I am free just because I like you. I don't do free because I like you. There is a maybe a dinner and girlfriends go out and you can ask me there, but child, I'm not giving, because then I start to think, am I giving away too much free advice? Oh,
right.
No, heifer, we friends. You can book me. Okay. I don't even start But I could say that with this group, I have helped in the ways that I am willing to be of service. Yeah, like
Yeah, because I'm gonna be honest with you. The couple that I thought was not listening to you was the Joya Jasha. I do not feel confident that Joya will pull back on that child conversation. I feel like she was just like, yeah, this sounds good, Stacii. Thank you.
No.
I'm just saying, just to me, I just because the whole time, and of course we know about editing and all that. The whole time, I just really felt like she just wasn't listening. It was about her.
Shut up! Wow, what you think, Nikita?
I felt like she wasn't listening to him. Like he was saying, maybe eventually, but not right now. And but he seemed like he really loved her and he really wanted to be with her, but he wanted to enjoy traveling, enjoy life, enjoy his woman without a baby, in the mix immediately. But she was so stuck on this biological clock that, like you said, and worried about whether her already existing child would be an only child. Like it was just such a manufactured anxiety. Like you told her, girl, live in the moment. Like, don't worry about.
And that was the best advice ever.
Right.
That was the best episode.
Said she was listening, but we don't know if we really believe her.
She not.
So let me say, that's interesting. So I can say, y'all, Joya was listening. Like even how she moves in their relationship now. I haven't talked to him in a while, but I can say from when I was talking to them, this was because we haven't been shooting, for a while. So I can say that whole surrender, allow, be. Now, does she probably wake up and have mornings where, she like, I want this baby right now? Maybe, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we all, we're human. So we have our good days when we know to do the right thing. And we have our days when that shadow self is what I call it, gets the best of us and we start acting out, right?
Right.
But I can say that Joya has, and she does use that surrender, allow, be,
Okay. That's good to hear.
Yeah, basically that's saying be present, get your feet off his neck is going to happen when it's supposed to happen.
That part.
And the thing I do want to clarify, Jasha never said he didn't want children. A lot of people, he ain't want no kids. No, he said he didn't want them right now.
Right now. Exactly.
I don't know how the audience got
that. No, we got it. He said he wanted to continue trying. He enjoyed her.
Yes.
That's what we got from it.
Yeah. I can say also, and this is something that they didn't show, and we do record a lot, is that Jasha and I did sessions to where his questions, that's some things that women don't understand. A man may have some questions that he has, how can I put this? Jasha didn't even understand outside of he wanted kids, but not right now. There were so many questions between that and getting to the child that Joya, because she would show up I want him right now. And if you're doing this right now, it's going to be a deal breaker. Jasha was more like, well, dang, I got a kid over here. I'm a good father, but it's someone else raising that kid. That was huge. That was a huge, and when we got together, I never thought this would be happening. Right. So he really wanted to make sure Joya was the right. You see what I'm saying?
I do.
He didn't want to have another child.
Just like Ricky. Ricky had been married before
and didn't want to make the same
mistake. Ricky and are two different people, though. I had to say they just.
I'm sure.
Oh yeah, that's the whole.
Ricky and Jasha are two different people, but with Jasha, his biggest thing was, I got a whole child over there, who, when I was with her mother, I didn't ever think that we would be like this, but we are. What did I not do that time?
What's the lesson?
Exactly. That was Jasha's first thing. And then once we got through that, he was like, okay, I can possibly do this. Another thing was travel. He was like, I want to travel, right? Yeah. And then we finally came to, and you guys didn't see this, Jasha, you all are realtors, right? If you build your life in a certain way, from 1 to 4 or 5, possibly even, who's to say your child, oh my gosh, culturally can't have seen 5 or 6 countries by the time they're 5 years old. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine the Beyoncés and what Blue Ivy has seen. So because you all are realtors and you can set your own schedule, you can take the kid with you and the nanny if you want.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
that's true.
you know,
But I don't think
But
he was
traveling
thinking
with
about
kids
that at
is
all.
a whole different animal than traveling just the two of you. And I can say from
yeah, that is
experience.
true. That is true. That is true. That is
And
I
I
don't
will
know
say,
anything about that.
I wholeheartedly believe that when couples get married, they need some time to enjoy each other before
other.
having children. We dated 2 years and then we were married for 2 before we had kids. Actually, our daughter was born the 5th year that we were together. So we had a lot of time to, just the two of us to be together.
Yeah.
And I think that that's important because you need to know each other very well. You really, really, really need to have those conversations about what life with the child would be like and how many you want to have. It's amazing how many people don't talk about that number. I mean, it's important.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, they're doing well though. Joya and Jasha are doing amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good to hear. But let's talk about Chance and Dunbar. Do you ever get to a point where you're just like, listen, something is not right with you all. You need some real intense help. And I recommend that you don't even use the word marriage right now. And definitely don't procreate. How about that?
Yeah, I can say with that couple, that's a mess. I can say with that couple, if you remember the first time I sat down with them, I did say, I did choose you all because what's going on here? I couldn't, what is this? What are we doing? I'm not clear on, I have the other couples, but when something clearly happens that you are fathering her and then she says you're not, and you obviously there's something going on. Mm-hmm. And that was the day, honestly, I thought literally you all, yes, finally we got somewhere. And then I never saw him again.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't know you didn't know they were leaving.
I never saw him again. The day after he had the breakthrough where he was crying, Dunbar, literally that's the day I'm like, yes, we got somewhere. We're talking, we're moving forward. Chance was a little bit more, Chance is, I would have had to do more work with her. She wasn't really opening up like Dunbar was. But I can say that at least I thought, okay, he's in it for the growth. Then I know they have conversations when they get home. Maybe he can then say, wow, I really think this is going to be different than we thought. But I really touched on some spaces in myself that I think will be beneficial to us as a couple, right? So I never thought I would not see him again. Literally never saw him again.
So
it was
who do you think
shocking thing ever?
Who do you think was the one who were like, okay, that's it. We're not doing this anymore. Do you think it was him or her?
Well, looking at the show, because remember, I'm not on their dates. I don't know about their date. I don't know any of that, right? So looking at how the dates went, I think that, they're both very controlling. She was as controlling on her date as he was. She was as controlling on his date as he was controlling on her date, how she said slap and, did all this with him, and then you got to pray with me, hold my chest and, all of those things. So now looking at the show, I would say that it was Chance.
I think so.
Me too.
We both thought so. It had the vibe that he came back and she was like, oh no, we're not doing this anymore. No, I don't know who she thinks she is. She just seemed like she took control and said, yeah, that's a wrap. So
and she had bully vibes.
Yeah, she had bully vibes. Ooh.
Wait a minute. You can't say ooh. I gotta say ooh to you.
I mean,
don't use that on the show, Dr. Stacii. That's not a psychological psych.
No, I would, trust me, I would. But let me say this too, even on the show, I didn't, because I'm in the sessions, I think a part of Chance's, oh no, you didn't. Remember when he gave his truth about her father? And he was like, I feel like, as a couple, you ask me something, I tell you, and then you go ask your father, and that deflates his manhood. And he was very honest.
Yep.
And she
He
looked at,
was.
where you get that from? No, who said that? And at that point, I didn't know. I was trying to get to, is Dunbar just throwing things out? Because there's no, like, she was like, this is not happening. That's not how it happens. So when I was like, well, Dunbar, give me some examples. When does this happen? When has she done that? Right?
Mhm,
And he
mhm.
backed off. Well, maybe I got it wrong because I'm like, what is going on? Is it either she isn't doing this or they were just confusing. So
or
this,
he's scared of her, or like what?
I
She
know.
was pinching that arm. We just didn't see it. She was pinching his arm.
Now looking at it back, I think something, right. You better not say nothing about my daddy, right? Like, right? Don't you say nothing about my daddy. So I think at that point, possibly now looking at it back, just as a viewer, I think Dunbar again was ready for some change and to be honest. And she was like, there's certain things you don't touch. And if we have this problem, my daddy is one of them. So he cannot control who he is. Like, he cannot control the truth. He just want to just tell everything. So then let us back out of this thing, because you're not about to bring my dad, because now I don't know what you're about to say.
Right. So you're putting too much out there.
And the fact that she's a beauty pageant queen or contestant or whatever, she's about appearances. And so you can't.
Well, they shouldn't have been on that show.
You can't have her on this show looking crazy. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that was her vibe. Like, don't you get on it. Don't say this. Don't say that. Don't do this. She probably had given him the rundown beforehand, and he stepped out of line and she wasn't having it.
And then beauty pageant queens are they know they got the script in head. They're like politicians. And I think Dunbar, ex-football player out here just trying to, help some boys, with his group home or whatever he does. And he's not as practiced. And he was like, shucks, I just got through crying. I feel like I really might have a problem. Yeah, let's talk about it. Your dad, this is how I feel when you do so-and-so, so-and-so. And she was like,
boy, stop.
I know you didn't.
Yeah, I'm actually glad they left. It gave us an opportunity to see other couples who actually may have listened to your advice versus them fighting you the whole time. That's not the point.
Yeah. Well, I don't mind if they fight me. I don't mind, but stay in it, because I know that the fight will still get us somewhere. I don't mind. Yeah, nobody has to agree with everything. I'm definitely not that chick. But I know that, no, I'm definitely not that, because again, that creates good TV. So I'm the one that can stay in it, right? I'm not going to back up, because I'm still going to be in your face like this, okay?
Right.
Right. And that just, to me, creates great television. I'm being real, right? You being real. So then we can get somewhere. But I would have rather fight me, but stay in the process.
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay, so then let's talk about Ricky and Catherine. Because we just didn't feel, was their relationship real? It just felt like they were friends. They didn't have real couple vibes. They had this my dude, this my girl kind of thing, but not that.
Or maybe beard vibes. I don't know. We don't know.
What?
She said beard vibes, like. But seriously, though, they didn't really seem to have a romantic connection.
That part.
I can say that they are great. First of all, they are a couple. I mean, I don't know what they're doing right now, but they are, when we were shooting, they were a couple. They had been friends for a long time. And for whatever reasons, Catherine moved here, and they were in a relationship. Like, I have no idea, but what I do know is you're right. They have great friend vibes, but they are a couple, or they were when we were shooting. You see what I'm saying? And that's on and off camera. Like, even the way that the other guys would engage their girls, the way Jasha would engage Joya just when they were leaving the house. Jasha would grab Joya, you know what I'm saying? And hold her hand. You always notice mostly Catherine was leaned into Ricky more than Ricky leaning in together. Body language shows everything. But I don't know if that's just how Ricky is with women in general. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's how he was with his ex-wife. Maybe that's his thing. He doesn't, for whatever reasons, the way that his masculinity is portrayed. Maybe he's just not the one to lean in. I don't know. But yeah, they are. It was interesting. It was interesting. But Catherine, when I tell you, I adore Catherine. She was in it. She about to get this coaching. She about to get this counseling, baby, and she gonna do some changing. That girl was so vulnerable. She was so day after day, like she never held back. She was there to change, like for real. Catherine was there.
Well, she had to do something, and even she was aware of Smokey.
Yeah, well, you know, I gave her that name.
I mean, but she was aware that she had this temper and this side of her that could get reckless at the mouth. And it was interesting to me that the other ladies kind of were like, girl, you know, you get a little fire at the mouth, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that before. Usually the women stick together and the men stick together, but this time the women were like, well, now wait a minute, you know.
You doing the most.
You doing the most.
That's your dude. Yeah, that's your dude. You need to love on him and not be so aggressive. And Ricky doesn't even seem like that type of person anyway.
Well, I can tell you, Ricky, because it's with him, he's so like, what are you feeling? Can you say something? Like, can you tell me something? Like, he just
melancholy,
really share, like, literally, to where there were sometimes, and you all didn't see this, there were sometimes that really I got in Ricky's face, like, say something, you know, what in the world? Like, do you see what's going, like, there's so much that you all didn't see.
Yeah.
And he just
claimed.
But I think that's a part of the reason.
Show that.
But I think that's a part of the reason why we felt like they were not a real couple, because he wasn't fighting for her, if that makes sense.
He didn't seem to be doing anything. And he also, at some points, he even seemed like he was trying to encourage her to find someone else. Like, go ahead, you know, get out here. Go. But when they went, I have never seen that before. They went on 4 dates. I said, okay, now you go together.
She liked Marcus.
4 dates? I would be feeling some kind of
the whole show. It was only one other time she went out with the first guy, which was Mark.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Every other date was with Marcus.
Yeah, she liked him.
She really liked him. He got a little obnoxious on the reunion, but
oh God,
I was kind of thinking that, you know, maybe they would be a nice couple, but he showed his butt at the reunion, so I don't.
Yeah, I think Marcus was at the point where, first of all, people say he was being fake. Ain't nobody got no woman.
I don't think he
all on TV taking her rings. Like, there's no, you know what I'm saying? So he was really wanting to be with Catherine.
That's what it seemed like.
But we didn't understand why, though, because obviously she had a lot of work to do. And it, you know, it's just she wasn't ready for another relationship.
Yeah. Catherine has a lot of work to do on herself, but I do believe that it can look more intense depending on the man that you do have in your life. Like, I think if Catherine was getting any of what she wanted in a relationship, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yes,
you know, then her tears and like, she literally got nothing outside of that first, I think the first flowers. Cause I said, no, ask for what you want. And he gave her some flowers, but literally there was you didn't see Ricky do any other change. Nothing. He still was quiet. He still was, right? So then when you don't get anything, literally, and as intense as that shooting is, I believe that Catherine, if she would have gotten anything, like if Marcus would have been the Ricky and they had their problems, if she would have gotten anything, Marcus would have been like, okay, let me change that. Let me change that. So then all them tears and all that, it just probably wouldn't have manifested like it did. But she got nothing.
I mean, but well, see, then that brings me to if you're not getting anything, like say for instance, you're filming for 12 weeks. By week 6, Ricky has done absolutely nothing. Why are you still there? It's almost, now it turns into, now I'm trying to force him to make a behavior change. And I'm like, ma'am, when is the writing on the wall? Like, When
it
are you
depends
gonna
on the
get
type
it?
of person you are, because you got to remember Catherine's backstory is
Right.
her family, they left. So her thing is staying. No matter how hard it gets, I'm going to
Right.
stay. You see what I'm saying? Her backstory,
Yeah.
her attachments are they left. So then, because she's like, well, they left me,
I'm not going to be that
I'm
person.
not going to be that
Yeah.
person. So for her, it's like, no matter, let me stay. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I wonder
Nope.
about that as well. It, and I think that that's maybe why Marcus was coming on so strong, because he could see she wasn't getting anything at home.
At
And
all.
he's saying the same thing. Why are you staying with this dude? You're
Yeah.
not happy. He's not giving you anything that you need. Why are you staying? You don't have to stay with him out of some
Right.
type of loyalty or obligation. You can be by yourself. Or with me. I can think that's what he was trying to tell her. And I think that's why he was coming on so strong, but it was a little off-putting.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it got like that, but I guess he was like, well, shucks, nothing that I'm saying. Let me bring this ring out. Maybe
Yeah, let me try something.
That was over.
Everything.
You want a ring? Here it is. Yikes.
And it could have been a friendship ring or whatever, but something to show that I'm in it with you. I think that's what that was supposed to represent. I'm in it with you. So let's do this. And I think that, again, she's like, no, I'm not leaving because people left me. So I'm just going to.
Yeah, they need to work on each other by themselves.
I agree.
So if you're doing the show and you get a vibe that these two people don't need to be together, right? Would you tell them that? Or is that not your place to tell someone they should break up?
Dun, 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 dun. Keita. She's
and it doesn't
really
have to be
about
the show. It could be in your counseling or whatever. But could you?
Well, definitely not in my counseling. I wouldn't do it because a therapist doesn't tell people
what to do.
They have autonomy in their lives. They do what they want. I'm there to shed some light on some things, and then you make the decisions about your life. So I wouldn't do that. But and if you notice in Ricky's closeout, and even with Catherine's, I gave a picture of what this is, and Ricky was like, this is. I was like, this is what it is. It's not. You have to accept her for this. He said, well, I'm in it. This is what marriage is. And I said, as hard as this is, so it's like and he said, yes, that's what marriage is. And I'm willing, at that point, we thought he was going to propose, honestly, because basically he was like, I'm in this.
I didn't think he would. I really didn't.
I was like, that day, I was like, wow, I think he's going to really propose, because he said, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with everything she is. And I said, okay. And even with Catherine's exit interview, So I don't say, girl, this thing ain't gonna work. What you doing with your life? You've been here because I've been here for the last 12 weeks. You ain't been here because
right. That's my point. It's
don't say that. Okay, that is not what I do. But I do back them in a corner to see in an elevated way, to say, this is what you have. Are you willing to accept that?
Right. This is what's in front of you. Right.
Yeah. Smoky might not go away. How is that? Well, that's
right.
And that's what he said. That's why I was like, oh, he really gonna propose. Wow.
I hope off camera you gave him a look like you was a fool. Like, don't do it.
Well, she was hot though. You could tell she was pretty hot.
Yeah, she was mad
when he didn't propose.
Oh my God.
She was outdone. I was like, oh, he in trouble. Smokey will be Smokey will be in that car on the way home.
She was trying to hold it together, but one thing that camera don't do, when that camera's on your face, because
shows everything.
Yeah.
Because I know sometimes I'd be looking like, oh, girl, stop showing that in your face. What in the world? Talking to myself, watching it. I'm like, everything, even with the stuff with Dunbar and Chance, I was like, dude. Hold it together, Stacey.
You gotta hold your tongue and try to fix your face.
Fix your face. So with Catherine that day, you could see in her face that this was, wow.
Mm-hmm. He really did that. He really played.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
But if it got to that point,
What?
you just no. The answer is no.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Keita.
is there anything you would change about the show or the format or anything? Anything?
As a watcher, there was a couple of times I was like, man, I wish I would have known that happened on a date. Like, I didn't know Joya was talking about seeing chest and sex at the table. Like, because they didn't come back and share that part with me, right?
Right.
So I probably wanted to know more about that. But what I do like about I didn't know is the producers really want this to be, when I do find something out, organic. So I know nothing about their dates. I know what they share with me during the group sessions.
Mm-hmm.
As I can tell you, the coach and me looking at it now, I'm a drill a little more because now I know, oh, y'all be holding secrets. Like, I'm thinking everybody coming back in, sharing. Oh no, this next season.
Uh-oh.
All right.
We're gonna drill a little bit. Yeah, we're gonna drill a little bit deeper. Like, I need, and I'm actually gonna look at the whole season again because I want to know what happened on those dates.
Yeah.
I really want to know that because as far as Joya going with him touching the girl's legs, but you all at the table talking about sex and you couldn't even hold yourself back from the Scorpio part. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Looking at tattoos and
just
saying that she can have sex with her eyes and all of that. Yeah. But yeah.
I didn't know any of that. So now this next season, I know that I am gonna drill a little deeper with those because they're not going to let me know what goes on. So that means now I need to really, it's going to be, y'all think Dr. Stacii was in their face this season? Baby.
Get them.
Yes. Get them,
girl. Like, and but the great thing about me, it's all in love. And you really would rather me know now because they going to see it later and I ain't going to be there. So then your partner gonna be looking at you like, for real?
Yeah. So do you have a significant other, and what do they think about you doing this show?
Yes. So let me say this. Hold on. I don't talk about significant others until I have a ring on my finger.
Oh,
I am.
Do you have a boo or a bae?
Yeah, let me just keep it real clear. I will talk about a one person when I have a one person ring on my finger.
Ring.
Yeah,
I don't put a ring on it literally, right?
Yeah, I don't do all that because I don't want you to feel like, oh yeah, she told people now shit. So now anybody want to DM her, or anybody want to contact her because they know she got a man. No, we're not doing that, honey. We're not gonna let you get that comfortable, okay?
I like it. All right now. Y'all hear that?
Right.
She's not available until she has a ring on her finger.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Let everybody continue to be uncomfortable.
I like it. I'm here for it.
Let them continue to be uncomfortable, honey.
She's still single until she get a ring.
So what's up next for you? Any other? I mean, besides the show, hopefully there's going to be another season. We're looking forward to it. But anything else? Are you working on anything else?
I actually have this event I'm doing called the Matchup, which is let's see, how can I describe the matchup? The matchup it's brunch centered, all right, with men and women, with a panel discussion from various people, because I want to tour various people from the community as well as a couple of influencers. But the conversation is around really from media, how the media portrays Black relationships and Black love, so it's an elevated conversation around coming together. Because I always believe, and if you remember on the show, I always talk about healthy romantic love. Healthy, because anybody can get a man or a woman, but is it healthy? Yes. So how can we come together and bridge the gap and have conversations around creating healthy romantic love? And what happens is at the end of the brunch, this is my favorite part. So you have the audience, you have the panel, but then you have the audience discussion. So then after, there's a mixer with men and women But now you can say, hey, I heard you in the audience talk about, so because then there's a DJ and music. You gave your point of view about around that question. Wow, tell me more about that. So it gives the matchup a different way instead of what's your name, where you from, you got kids.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sure, you want to get married. So you get real conversation pieces to start the conversation with men and women in the room. So it gives another level of conversation at the matchup.
Yeah. I like it.
Nice.
I like it.
Nice. What's good. The intended audience or age group?
Yeah, well, for me, what I trend with, as far as what people, even with sponsors, they always say my demographic is usually 25 to 65. I know that's 25 to 54 is what they usually say for me.
Okay.
And then with as far as I would say if there were couples attending the matchup, it would still elevate their conversation, because sometimes couples, they are so monotonous with what they do and what they don't do, to where even these conversations that we're going to have, they may even elevate their conversation. So it could be something that even people in relationship could attend, because 9 times out of 10, they're not having these conversations about elevating their love to where, because they just talking about, we gonna get together for dinner, whatever.
Right. Well, hopefully they will talk about having actual conversations.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest issue I'm single, been single for 1,000 years. But I just feel like people don't know how to communicate.
Yeah. Yeah. And this will help that, because of the conversations that the panel will have. And then, of course, the audience will have as well. Oh, and I should say, hold on, I have I Want a Good Man University. I do have that. It's a subscription program. Yeah. That, I've had for 3 years. And that's justdategirl.org, justdategirl.org. I can say that those prices are about to go up, because prices yesterday were not prices today. Okay.
Amen.
So, inflation, baby.
Exactly.
Amen.
Exactly. So that is something that I do. And as well as my Instagram at justdategirl. So.
Okay. And is that how we follow you for all information on social media, or is it just the Just Date Girl information?
Just Date Girl on Instagram and Twitter. And then my Facebook is my name. But make sure you guys do the public page, because I'm not accepting no more some of the people on my private page, I'm like, I don't even know these people. I had somebody to go back and take a bunch of people off. I think when you first sign up for Facebook, I think they say integrate your contacts or whatever or something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how long people got there, because I don't know the people.
You're gonna have to do a purge.
How do you do a purge? You could do that. Just in one
take forever. You have to go through and just start snatching people out. Yeah, it takes time.
It takes a minute, but once it's done, right, Dr. Stacii?
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us today. It was great talking to you.
Oh my gosh.
I always love talking to you. We kiki anytime, but this is fun. This was fun. And again, congratulations on the show. Yes. I enjoyed watching it. We enjoyed watching it. I've had people texting me and say, "Oh, you know her?" Yeah.
For 30 years, no. A real no. Okay.
Yes. Thank you so much. And congratulations on your upcoming graduation. To our subscribers, remember to like and subscribe to I Ain't Trying to Be Funny, but with Keita and Kim. Until next time, thank you.
All right, bye.